Peace, BookTube. It's Victory Day in England. Today I have a slender book for you, but delightful, chock full of fun. And it is The Girls of Slender Means by Muriel Spark. Some of you will already know her for her humor and characterization. This book, we have a number of women living together in a boarding house. With a couple exceptions, they are all very young women who have been internally displaced by the war and are living in London without family. Therefore, they live in a boarding house altogether. And this one is called the May of Tech Club. One of the things that Muriel Spark I discovered in this book is very strong at is creating a soundscape. So often when we do our analysis of a book, we focus a lot on the visuals, of course, couple, Proust on smell famously, but for the most part, visuals. And today I just want to look at the soundscape that Muriel Spark creates for this delightful boarding house. Quite charming. Let's start off with the noises off. The number and variety of muted noises off were considerable. Laughter went on behind the folded doors of the first floor dormitory. Someone was shoveling coal in the cellar, having left open the green baize door which led to those quarters. The telephone desk within the office rang distantly, shrill with boyfriends, and various corresponding buzzes on the landing summoned the girls to talk. The sun broke through as the forecast had promised. Weave a circle round him thrice, and close your eyes with holy dread, for he on honeydew hath fed, and drunk the milk of paradise. So the house has a number of floors, five-story house. I'm going to start you on the ground floor. As we go in, we're going to go straight to the drawing room. That's where visitors are taken. And we're going to see a number of the ladies around the notice board having a lively discussion about their dislike of the new brown wallpaper that has been put in by management. Ironically, this exact shade of wallpaper, Muriel Spark tells us, will become very fashionable later on, and many of these women in later life will have their houses in that color. Anyway, here we can hear on the wireless, maybe Winnie is on there, Winston Churchill. It's 3 weeks to the Labor election. We shall have civil servants, no longer civil, no longer servants. Here we have our gentlemen callers, maybe the poets are discussing the war. What will we do without the barbarians? They were some sort of solution for us. And we can see out the windows because the blackout paint has been scraped off the windows now the war is over. And so you can look out into the beautiful garden where once an unexploded bomb landed. Now let's take you to the first floor. This floor had a giant ballroom, and this has become the dorm for all the quite younger girls, including Dot. Dorothy, she's the niece of the lady who runs the house, Lady Julia Markham. And her conversation is quite delightful. Let me give you a little sample of it. Dorothy could admit, at any hour of the day or night, a waterfall of debutante chatter, which rightly gave the impression that on any occasion, between talking, eating, and sleeping, she did not think, except in terms of these phrase ripples of hers. Filthy lunch, the most gorgeous wedding, ghastly film, I'm desperately well, thanks, how are you? Her voice from the washroom distracted Jane. Oh, hell, I'm black with soot. I'm absolutely filthington. She opened Jane's door without knocking and put in her head. Got any Soapy Joe? It was some months before she was to put her head round Jane's door and announce, Filthy luck, I'm preggers. come to the wedding. So there you can see the very light tone with which Muriel Spark handles even large life events. And the war will emerge its bony hand from the gassy mud one more time to impact our ladies in our home towards the end. But as I said, it's a very happy book. You'll have a lot of fun with it. So we're going to the second story. Second story, excuse me. Here is the staff bedrooms. So you might have the cook in there practicing her elocution lessons. We'll meet the teacher in a minute, the elocution teacher in a minute. And two of the weirds live here. So there are three weirds, or fates, or whatever you want to call them, older ladies who no one quite had the heart to put out, who still live there. Two of them share a room. That's Collie and Jarvie. They're fond of arguing over theology. And then the third, Greggy, is taking us up to the third floor. She has enough money to have her own room. Also on this floor is the, slightly off Pauline. Pauline has something going on mentally. She goes out every week to have dinner with a famous movie star, which of course she just takes a taxi around the park, I think. However, for some reason, none of the residents, I guess they believe her. None of them quite realize that she's a little off. So here, instead of having the mad woman in the attic, we have the mad woman on the third floor. And Joanna, our elocution teacher, also lives on this floor. She's the daughter of a minister who fell in love with a curate who broke her heart, and now she sublimates, she'll never love again, and she sublimates all of that into poetry. And she gives the elocution lessons to some of the girls, the staff. This would have been a big thing in Britain, for those of you not from Britain might not know, for people with regional accents. So a lot of these girls are from, places other than London. They would want to lose their accents, or even Londoners of the lower class accents would want to take elocution lessons to speak, I guess what we would call today received pronunciation, to sound a little, higher class. So anyway, so there's always poetry going through the house. She's always reciting poetry, having her students recite poetry after her. This competes with Selena's mantra. Now we're going up to the fourth floor. Selena is sort of the beauty of the house. And she has her little mantra that she always recites, that you'll hear several times throughout the book, including in some very comic scenes and even in some serious scenes. This is her sentences. She's called the sentences. She repeats them twice a day. Poise is perfect balance, an equanimity of body and mind, complete composure, whatever the social scene. Elegant dress, immaculate grooming, and perfect deportment all contribute to the attainment of self-confidence. Now, also on this floor is Anne, who we'll meet in a minute, and Jane. Jane will move on from the soundscape to meet Jane in the context of her work. She's the daughter of a publisher, and she works in publishing. She's going to take us into an interesting satire on writing, writers, publishing in just a minute. But I want to just paint one more scene here. On the fourth floor, there is a trapdoor to the roof that's been bricked up because a boy got in once or something. But there is a little window, and Selena can fit through it. Jane, who's overweight and very conscious of it, can't. Anne gets through barely by stripping naked and covering herself in, I can't remember if it was butter or something. It's still rationing, right? So everything is scarce. They've got one nice dress that they all share among them. I should have mentioned down in the kitchen too, for some reason, they're always another topic of conversation over and over is dieting, even though they're on ration food. I guess maybe the 99% oatmeal sausages you get in Britain, even to this day, are fattening. I guess, I don't know. But anyway, that's a common topic of conversation. Anyway, so Anne is just able to get out this window. Selena can go easily in and out. Next door is a hotel where the Americans, the Yank military intelligence, is got their offices. And Selena is able to get on the roof and meet, lovers. This will all become quite significant towards the end. So anyway, so that's our house. That's sort of the soundscape of the house. Let's talk about Jane and publishing. So Jane, she works for, first let's start with this, while we're on the Americans, this speaker that they have come to the drawing room. She's called a warden, I think. Anyway, she's a Yank. She's from America. And she has this moral something society, which is basically just censorship. They just censor things. So that little speech is a little amusing. And even more amusing is Jane's boss. So he's like paranoid and he likes to beat down his authors. So he investigates them and finds their weaknesses and uses it against them. One gets the sense that it's not even in just an attempt to get more money, but there's something weird going on. So he uses Jane to investigate this one poet who's written this Sabbath. What's the title? Anyway, he's written this anarchist screed. No one can figure out, his politics. What is the word they use for? They can't figure out his sexuality as well. At one point, it said that he's a cosmic poet and a sexual. I can't remember what it was. I'll put it in the notes because it was funny. Something I've never heard of. So ahead of the curve was our Muriel Spark. Right. So anyway, back to George, the publisher. So he has Jane he doesn't have her sleep with the poet, but Jane gets in this love triangle where she's attracted to this poet that she's investigating. And this other fellow who I think likes her, she doesn't like. He's Romanian. He's foreigner. Well, he's a bit shady because his whole business is he has Jane write letters to famous authors, and then when they reply, crazy made up letters like, I'm, a little girl in the hospital and all I want is you to write to me. Anyway, he sells the signatures of these famous authors. So that is a little bit of satire of the whole publishing scene. And then there's a poets party that they end up at one point. It's all quite insane. It really fun book. Muriel Sparks, Girls of Slender Means. Check it out. I think you'll enjoy it.